Good morning, Rodney. Good morning, Deborah.
Good morning.
I was wondering if you guys would like to talk a little bit about your experience in the demonstration gardens.
Yes, that would be fine.
So how did you come to be here, Rodney?
Well, I came here through a program, through an organization called CSEP, which is an organization for seniors, and it gets us more involved in the community.
What about you, Deborah?
Same way, more recently, and it's something that the idea is to give you training, to give you a means of sort of getting back into the workforce if you've been out of it, or just to extend your knowledge to other areas so you can.
So is it right that both of you guys were office workers in your earlier work life?
I was, yes.
Yeah, I was. I worked for law firms doing word processing for about more than 25 years.
And I did workers' compensation claims for more than 25 years in the state of California.
But then so many law firms have joined with other law firms, and the trend now is to take any departments where they don't really need to have a presence in the big cities where the law firms have to be, and consolidate them in some other part of the country that's where they don't have to pay as much. So anyway, that was how my job ended.
Well, how is it for you guys to work in the demonstration gardens?
It's great. I actually, the thing I noticed after the first day I worked here, I just realized for 4 hours I hadn't had a single depressing or negative thought, which for me these days was pretty unusual. And it's been that way actually every single day that I've come to work here.
What about you, Rodney? How is working in the gardens for you?
Oh, I find working in the gardens very pleasant. In fact, I used to go to botanical gardens quite a bit before I started working here. And I always like to be around plants and things that are growing. I always noticed how I felt so much better, so much more positive, so much more peaceful. So I'm really enjoying this. While I'm here, I'm enjoying this work here.
And another thing for me that's been really interesting to see is working with the groups of school kids that come here, because I just really like seeing how they get so excited about the idea of planting things, because they're very energetic. The groups that I've been seeing here are 7th and 8th graders, and sometimes they're kind of hard to contain their energy, but they just, I don't know, they just really love to go poking holes in stuff and sticking plants in, and that's been really nice.
You guys working on expressive arts with the youngsters too?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. And well, as far as arts are concerned, I work with them with music as well, which is something I enjoy doing. Also, I am a former teacher, and it's been a good experience for me to be around children again, and I love working with children as well.
So, when you think about working in the demonstration gardens, what's the main thought that you have about it? What comes to mind when you think about working here?
Well, for myself, it's a place I come and work, not just only just working in the gardens, but also by bringing in other activities with the children, and with the music, and with any other aspect of art that you can find, such as a theater. We have the puppets. We use that as an art, of course, and we teach the children that too, and it's teaching them how to act, and it's sort of like a broadened type of situation. It's not just one aspect.
What about you, Deborah?
Well, mainly, I'm kind of constantly aware of how nice it is to have a green area in the middle of a not very green neighborhood in the city. And I grew up in San Francisco, and I actually grew up in Cow Hollow, but in the 50s and early 60s before it was gentrified. And we lived in an old building that had access through our backyard, which was not fenced off like most of them were on the block, to the interior of the block, which was this jungle of wild anise. And in those days they were like, you know, above our heads, and we would get our mother's kitchen machetes and, you know, carve paths through the anise jungle. And it was just really nice to have this green spot, you know, to play around in. And so many times when I'll be working over by the Golden Gate Avenue side, which is where the people walk by, people will stop by and look at the garden, and they just always compliment us on how nice it looks and how nice it is to have a spot like this here. Even not people who come in when the garden's open, but people who are just walking by, and they just get this really nice sort of respite from whatever else is going on in their lives. I mean, sometimes it's just people who work here and they like seeing the garden, and other times it's people that you can tell probably have maybe some sort of mental or social problems, or maybe some sort of substance abuse problem, but they just really like coming in and looking at it, and they'll talk about how it reminds them of, you know, where they came from, you know, Virginia, or for instance, and how nice it was having a garden. And it's just, they really just like coming in and looking at this place.
Well, it's clear that you two both love this garden, and I'm sure the Demonstration Gardens loves you back. Thanks for all of your hard work to take care of it.